Hey everyone, today I want to share how I learned to talk about my morning routine in English, without sounding like a robot. At first, I thought it would be easy. After all, it's just a simple description of what I do every day. But when I actually tried speaking about it, I realized I was just listing actions like a checklist, like I used to say. I wake up. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. I go to work. It felt unnatural, like I was reading instructions from a manual rather than having a conversation. That's when I decided I needed to fix this. The first thing I did was write down my morning routine in its most basic form. My list looked something like this. I wake up at 7. I check my phone. I brush my teeth. I take a shower. I eat breakfast. It was clear and to the point, but it didn't sound like something a real person would say in a casual conversation. It lacked flow and detail. That's when I realized I needed to connect my sentences better. To make it sound more natural, I started adding small transitions like, then, after that, usually, and sometimes. Instead of saying, I wake up. I check my phone, I wrote, I wake up at 7, then I check my phone. After that, I brush my teeth and take a shower. Usually, I eat breakfast afterward, but sometimes I skip it if I'm in a hurry. Just by making this small change, my routine started to feel more like a story rather than a list of actions. The next thing I worked on was making my description more personal. I thought about how I actually go through my mornings, what little habits I have, and how I feel during that time. Now, I don't always say every single detail when talking about my routine, but if I wanted to, this is how I could describe it in a more natural way. Instead of just saying, I wake up at 7, I could add what I actually do. I wake up at 7, but I usually hit snooze once or twice before actually getting out of bed. Then, I grab my phone and scroll through messages or check the news. It's my way of waking up slowly. Instead of simply stating, I brush my teeth and take a shower, I could describe how I really go through these steps. After that, I drag myself to the bathroom to brush my teeth. I usually take a quick shower, but sometimes, if I'm feeling extra sleepy, I just stand under the water for a while before actually washing up. When talking about breakfast, I could add variety based on my habits. Usually, I eat breakfast right after my shower. If I have time, I make toast with peanut butter and a cup of tea. But sometimes, when I'm in a rush, I just grab a banana or skip breakfast altogether. By adding these small details, hitting snooze, checking my phone, standing under the shower, I make my descriptions sound more natural and relatable instead of just listing actions like a checklist. Then, I started noticing how native speakers describe their routines. They don't just say, I wake up. They say things like, I drag myself out of bed, or, I scroll through my phone for a bit before actually getting up. So, I replaced my basic phrases with more natural ones. Instead of saying, I brush my teeth, I say, I freshen up real quick. Instead of, I drink coffee, I say, I grab a cup of coffee. Instead of, I pack my bag, I say, I toss my stuff into my bag. Instead of, I put on my shoes, I say, I slip into my shoes and rush out the door. Instead of, I check the time, I say, I glance at the clock and realize I need to hurry. Instead of, I leave for work, I say, I head out for the day. These small changes made my speech sound much more natural and conversational. Once I rewrote my morning routine in a more natural way, I knew I had to practice speaking it out loud. So, I started casually describing it while going through my morning, talking to myself as I made breakfast or got ready. The more I did it, the more natural it felt, and soon, I didn't have to think so hard about what to say. Looking back, I realized that the key to improving wasn't about memorizing sentences but about making them sound more like real-life speech. By adding small details, using natural phrases, and practicing out loud, I was finally able to describe something as simple as my morning routine in a way that felt effortless. So, if you've ever struggled with this, just remember, start with a simple list, add details and transitions, replace stiff phrases with natural ones, and most importantly, practice speaking out loud. Trust me, it works. Now, tell me, how do you start your day? Try describing your morning routine in English in the comments, and let's practice together.